Hi guys, so my presentation is on young people's sexuality and risky sexual behavior. So Bywater and Jones define young people as those 11 to 18 years of age who are developing their identity and maturing sexually. The age range for this population is so narrow because there are such significant developmental changes and growth that occur. And during this stage in life, a young person faces many significant psychosocial challenges in their growth and development. And the development of one's sexuality is a huge part of their overall identity, independence, and autonomy. So the beliefs and influences among society, parents, peers, teachers, and from sex education and the media results in young people who are not fully informed and are forced to navigate sexuality on their own. With that being said, young people are at especially high risk of engaging in risky sexual behaviors, and risky sexual behavior is defined as behavior that increases one's risk of contracting sexually transmitted infections and experiencing unintended pregnancies. So through the lens of the circles of sexuality, sex education holds a large part of where they gain knowledge and information about their sexuality and its development, but it also varies widely from state to state. Many politicians, parents, and public policy advocates support abstinence-only sex education programs. So the topic least likely to be covered is how to get and use condoms. So therefore, they're not learning information that they need on the impact of engaging in risky sexual behaviors or even just sexual behaviors in general. So another issue that's come up is that these young people are unaware that STIs can be contracted through oral sex, and this impacts their knowledge of sexual health and reproduction. It also doesn't address lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders. So this being said, makes them unaware of factual information and what is perceived to be sexual activity, which continues to impact their development of sexuality. Girls and young women are more negatively sanctioned for their sexual activity and the number of sexual partners they have, which is the opposite for males. They are often referred to as sluts if they carry on condoms, which contradicts with their sexual health needs, which increases risky behaviors. Girls are taught to be the subordinate in a relationship and do as a man says, which often results in unprotected sex, where men assume that women hold all responsibility and they're on birth control. So when looking at boys and masculinity, in order to achieve that, they must be sexually active, have many sexual partners, and treat young women as sexual conquests. And it's assumed that men know everything about sexuality, so this impacts their development of sexual intimacy and sexual activity, which is different than women, and also increases their risk of engaging in risky behaviors. So since the topic is so taboo, young people are often not aware of where to obtain a condom, birth control, or other contraceptives. And even if they do, they're scared to utilize these services in fear of being stigmatized or judged. So in regards to social justice, sexual rights is a fundamental and universal human right, and it should be afforded to. So the stigma surrounding young people's sexual behavior and sexuality reduces the availability of health services for them, and therefore also they lack knowledge of STIs, and they also avoid seeking treatment. So what can we do from a trauma-informed care perspective and also communication? We need to educate young people on sexuality from a more holistic approach that respects young people who are developing sexually and promote agencies like Planned Parenthood that help young people to be safe. Reinforcing that the development of sexuality as a positive and acceptable thing is important as well. Empowering and informing them of their choices, enabling them to be safe, trusting in their decisions, and collaborating with them so they can access information and be supported when needed are also all significant things when working with young people. Also, educating them on safety measures taken by both genders will encourage communication between young people to ensure a safe and reciprocal relationship. And then a variety of behavioral skills are necessary, such as how to use a condom, including communication, negotiation, and refusal skills. And then also just educating them on the services and how to access them is providing choice if they do decide to engage in sexual acts. Specifically to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender population, continuing to provide education, especially risky behavior, and then providing them with support to help validate their feelings and confusion and provide them with acceptance, trustworthiness, and safety. Helping them to develop role models will empower them and encourage safe sex practices also utilizing resources in the community, and also encourage communication with their parents. And then, since there is such a lack of communication among researchers, programs, and society, which compromises the effectiveness of sex education programs, there needs to be more of a collaborative approach by engaging in open communication within society, within social workers and agencies and their staff, so that people will truly understand young people and how to help them with their development of sexuality. That we can also help to build up a support network for young people as an important tool for empowerment and choice. This will help to eliminate barriers faced and encourage this population to speak out and ensure their fundamental sexual rights are granted. And that is all I have. I hope you enjoyed.